Tottenham Hotspur have received a potential boost in their pursuit of Manchester City forward Omar Marmoush ahead of the transfer deadline, helped in part by the arrival of Antoine Semenyo. Lord Sugar has given his opinion on the Spurs side and states that the whole bloody team should be fired. A report claims that Juventus have inquired about the availability of Randall Muani, but this would apparently be a difficult deal to get done. And Anthony Kinsky could be on the move across London as West Ham look to secure the goalkeeper's services for the second half of the season, while another report claims that the Hammers want Dragusin too. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And finally, make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live or upload a video to the channel. Okay, let's get into it. Football.London report that Tottenham Hotspur have received a potential lift in their pursuit of Manchester City forward Omar Marmoush ahead of the transfer deadline. The Egyptian has found regular first-team opportunities limited at City this season, though he featured in the starting 11 for the Premier League fixture against Wolves after returning from the Africa Cup of Nations. January signing Antoine Semenyo has of course increased competition within the squad and sparked speculation regarding Marmoush's future at the Etihad Stadium. Spurs, Aston Villa and Turkish outfit Fenerbahce have all been linked with a potential move in recent weeks. However, Turkish publication Sabah has claimed that the player would prefer to remain in the Premier League. With Villa nearing a deal for former Chelsea forward Tammy Abraham, this could present Spurs with an opportunity to move ahead in the race. Fenerbahce are, though, understood to be maintaining their interest and considering a potential £26 million offer for the player. Football.London report that Lord Sugar has delivered his assessment of the Tottenham Hotspur campaign so far this season and suggests he would treat the players in the same manner as his candidates on the programme The Apprentice. Sugar served as the majority owner and chairman of the club between 1991 and 2001 before disposing of his remaining stake in 2007. Nevertheless, he continues to support Spurs and follows their fixtures on television, even whilst residing in Florida for portions of the year. Lord Sugar was questioned about their season following their defeat to Aston Villa in the FA Cup and inconsistent Premier League performances that have placed manager Thomas Frank under scrutiny. When asked whether Frank should be fired, like someone on his BBC programme, Lord Sugar responded, "I have no comment really about that poor sod. I mean, I think the whole bloody team should be fired. They're useless, bloody useless. And, you know, they're getting close to the relegation zone. And it'll be interesting to see what the new management ownership is going to do because, as you know, Daniel Levy has left. So it's now in the hands of Joe Lewis, who is a multi-billionaire, and he needs to start throwing some money, some real money at it to get to the top players. And if he throws more money at it, they'll do well, I guess. Seems to be the only way that all these clubs do is buy players for £100 million each or something." Caught Offside report that Juventus have reportedly reignited their interest in Tottenham loanee Randall Muani, making a direct approach to the player's camp within the last 24 hours. The French striker, currently on a season-long loan from PSG, has emerged as a shock target for the Serie A giants as they look to bolster their attack before the window shuts. According to Fabrizio Romano, the Juventus are keen to bring the forward back to Italy, where he spent part of the last season on loan. However, the deal faces significant hurdles. Romano explained on YouTube Juventus have called about Randall Muani in the last 24 hours. However, there are two problems that make the deal complicated. Thomas Frank doesn't want to lose any more players, and relationships between Juventus and PSG are frosty and tense after a summer of negotiations for Muani. Despite Muani's only 2 goals coming in Europe and a goal drought in the Premier League extending to 15 matches, Thomas Frank reportedly does not want to lose any more players. With injuries plaguing Spurs' attacking options, the manager's refusal to sanction an early termination of the loan shows Muani's importance to the team's depth, even if his output has been underwhelming. Give Me Sport report that West Ham are in talks to sign Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper Antonin Kinsky before the transfer deadline, senior correspondent Ben Jacobs has revealed. The London Stadium side are reportedly working towards a deal to bring in the Czech Republic international on loan and are open to including an option to buy. Kinsky, who joined Spurs from Slavia Prague last January, has played just twice under Thomas Frank this season in the League Cup. According to Jacobs, West Ham are in talks over a loan move for Kinsky as they look to support Espirito Santo with a fresh pair of hands in goal before the February 2nd deadline. And there are also suggestions that West Ham are also monitoring Radu Dragusin. The Romanian centre-back is reportedly interested in leaving Spurs before the transfer window closes, with West Ham among clubs showing late interest in the player. The Hammers are also expected to announce the arrival of Fulham winger Adama Traore, who is set to reunite with Espirito Santo following their time together at Wolves. Okay, here's my thoughts on those stories today. Sadly, not tons of transfer news again, or certainly incomings. It's all a bit depressing at the moment, isn't it? It's only talk about players leaving or wanting to leave. But anyway, the first one, Marmoush, possibly back on. I think this is just a bit speculative reporting, to be honest with you. Media know we are desperate for players in forward positions. Know we are interested in Marmoush. Look, I'd love this to be true. I'd love this to happen. I think Marmoush is a fabulous footballer. But he doesn't particularly want to leave City from reports earlier in the month, and Pep wants to keep him, so doesn't really bode well, does it? But look, if we could get Marmoush on loan, because I don't think they'd sanction a sale. I mean, who knows? They've got Semenyo now, but this is definitely a player we need to be going in for. Savinho, obviously the other player from City that we were touted as being interested in, who's got a current injury. Marmoush makes sense to me. So if we want the player and we desperately need additions in the forward line, then Spurs, go and get him, spend the money. So frustrating sometimes being a Spurs fan. Well, all of the time actually, isn't it? But yeah, let's see what happens on that one. Lord Sugar's comments on Spurs did make me laugh a bit, that he'd sack or fire the whole squad. I wouldn't say the whole squad, but look, they're underperforming. We know they're underperforming this season. Personally, I think that's a lot of it is on the manager. I don't think all of it's on Thomas Frank. Players have to take the responsibility as well, and a massive portion has to go to the board and ENIC. We've been over this a million times. Have they supported managers in the past enough? No, they haven't. 100%. Things have been done badly. Things have been done wrong. We've always cheaped out on deals. Just continues to be the case. I think we got a net spend of almost zero so far this transfer window, with the sale of Johnson and obviously Gallagher and Sousa coming in. So, you know, not many days left. 6 days left of the transfer window now. Shuts next Monday. Just no nearer getting players in, really, as date of recording. So hopefully Spurs can get some bits and pieces done over the line. And oh dear, this club, honestly, it drives you to drink, doesn't it? And but you know, Lord Sugar there commenting, yeah, he feels it. He feels it as well. Muani wanted by Juventus. Apparently, we're not going to be letting any players go. So these last 3 reports, do they mean much? But you know, Muani hasn't really torn down any trees, has he, for Tottenham? 2 goals against his parent club PSG, and that's it. Nothing in the Premier League to date. just hasn't worked out for him. Not sure the player's going to work in the Premier League. Perhaps the system doesn't work for him. Just doesn't really look interested to be at Spurs, to be honest with you. Probably a move away would be the best thing. But again, we're short in forward areas. So Thomas Frank wants to keep hold of the player, which I totally understand. But I just don't think this is ever going to work out for Muani. But I can understand the player wanting to move away. So let's see what happens on that. This Kinsky to West Ham thing, I don't get this at all. Why would you go from being on Tottenham's bench to West Ham's bench? Or is Kinsky going to challenge Areola? I thought he's actually having a few good performances lately when I've watched West Ham. So it's going to be difficult for him to displace him. But, yeah, this is a really strange one for me. And why would we let Kinsky go? But that's going to leave us light on a goalkeeper position, somewhere where we don't actually have to do any business this January, in my opinion. But it's going to leave us light. Obviously, Brandon Austin, that makes him second choice goalkeeper, decent enough keeper. So perhaps they're going to think if they let Kinsky go on loan. I don't see the value in it. But, you know, they're going to let Kinsky go on loan and kind of promote Brandon Austin to backup to Vicario. Very odd decision, that one. And also, it was just mentioned, so I'll put it out there, Dragusin is also wanted by West Ham. Obviously, he wanted to go back to Italy. His agent has been quite vociferous in that. But, yeah, I think Dragusin gets into the West Ham team, definitely get more minutes than he would at Spurs. But again, it's another player wanting out, and Thomas Frankie said he doesn't want anybody to leave. So, you know, conflicting reports, isn't it? So yeah, 6 days left. Come on, Spurs, TikTok. Plenty of work to do as usual. Get down in the comments, let me know. Do you think we're going to actually bring in any ready-made signings, players that can hit the ground running and help the first team for the rest of the season? Or do you think it's just going to be like so many other transfer windows from the past and it's just a damp squib? Get down in the comments and let me know. And let me know how you're feeling right now as a Tottenham Hotspur fan. And as always, come on you Spurs.